A few weeks ago, I talked about my Victorinox Ranger being retired, and I retired it while talking about it here. During that time, I mentioned that that wasn't my first retired object, but I didn't say what it was. I'm going to let you know my first retired object that I got, or Victorinox, is this climber. Now, and I replaced it with this Stego one. When I thought about replacing it or changing it up, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I never had new scales put on it, but I thought about possibly getting some new scales. As you can tell, I did not do that. Welcome, this is Haku EDC. This is Sack Friday, where every Friday we talk about Swiss Army knives or its competitors. Today we're going to talk about the Victorinox Climber, and we're going to compare an older one to a newer one. This is an older one, and let me first off say I did not buy this new. I got it used, I want to say in the late 80s maybe, or early 90s. I don't really remember exactly when. I think it may have been really closer to the early 90s. It had been used, and it had been used by an acquaintance of mine who sold it to me. I don't remember how much I paid for it or anything. But I just remember that this was one that I would do essentially my daily carry with. And I did that for a while before I turned to other Victorinox ones. Just to remind people, my current everyday carry of Victorinox is the Farmer X. So I really liked this. In fact, I liked it more than the compact. The compact is going to be a little smaller, less weight, obviously, but I just liked the shape of this. I like the dual blades of it. Obviously, you know me, I'm a scissors person. I don't think that a Victorinox that I have without scissors, with maybe a couple of exceptions, gets used at all these days. I'm going to quickly go over this climber so that you can see what it was like. I don't know if you can see closely, but if I can get this, there's a whole bunch of scrapes here along the edges and some chips along the scales of it. But otherwise, it's in fairly good shape. You can see that I probably need to reform the knives to get them re-sharpened up. Both of these, and at that point in time, I was just not into doing that. I wasn't into re-sharpening knives. I am now. And I really liked the layers for the opening layers. And if you could look closely here, let me just see here. There's a 4-line stamp there. That's the one of, oops, the lights are really weird here. There's a 4-line stamp here. Let me just turn the light here and let me do this. Oh, there we go. Now that's better. There's a 4-line Victorinox stamp here. So that's one way to tell its age. So it must be 80s, maybe 70s even. The other thing is that there's a screw for the scissors. And on the back side here, there's a coil here. And if I remember correctly, let's see what else is missing that kind of dates it. I probably should have looked it up before I did this. I did look it up at one point in time, but I don't remember what it said or anything. I just know the basic things. And look at this does not have a hole in it. So that means it's pre-1990s for sure. It is an older climber. I do remember that climbers used to be synonymous with Victorinox had a Traveler that had the exact same blades on it. And it's called Traveler because people would travel with it. Then this was before a whole bunch of 9/11 things that made it just not thought about to take a knife like this on your plane. Victorinox and 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 Wenger would actually sell these at airports. Wenger was very well known for selling knives at airports. the duty-free shops. When, when that went away was basically when Wenger started losing money and they eventually were purchased by Victorinox. I got, now for the new one. This is the new one. I got this one because it was Stagel. I never had anything that was Stagel, but I thought this is going to be really a neat piece. Um, and it has all the same components of a small knife, large blade, opener layers, can opener, bottle opener, here, screwdrivers, a little bit of a pry bar, and scissors. It also has your typical Victorinox tweezers and toothpick, and I still have that on here. So it has all those things that are on the old one, just in new configurations or new forms. And in Stay Glow, I really like to play with the Stay Glow one, as you can tell from when you came here. On the back layer, it does have your corkscrew, and on it I put a little bit of fire starter on it. And it has all here, has a hole in it. The other one does not. And I think that the older ones tend to work better if you're using them for things like scraping, but these work better if you're looking for making a hole. The other thing that was added is the package lifter. Now, the package lifter is one of those items that got added, and I'm not sure why it did, but it does add another component to a lot of the newer Victorinoxes. I have used it, you know, for like carrying pots and pans, and I don't think that I've ever used these very much for like package liftings, but things that are similar to that. I've used it to tie stuff down tighter when I want like a tent stake down to be tighter and back around. I can use this, and it works for that. I also added for this a little clip on it, and I use this clip because when I carry this, I almost always carry it inside my pocket. This makes it easier to get a hold of by having this clip on it, and it sits in my pocket exactly where I want it to sit. The other thing that I would have in that same pocket is generally my chum's wallet. These two things would sit in that same pocket without an issue. When I didn't have this on here and I had my chum's wallet in there and I needed a scissors or a knife, it took me a little while to dig them out. And this just made it so easy on 90+% of my pans. So that's a quick little overview of the Victorinox Climber, the old versus the new. What's the difference? Yes, this one is retired. It's in good shape, but I'm probably not going to use it anymore, and I'm going to use this one. I've actually had this out once in the evening with the Stay Glow stuff, and it was pretty amazing. Generally, I forget to make sure it's by a light so it does glow. This is Haku EDC. Please like, share, make a comment about anything that you saw here. See you in the future.